All right, we got Speed 3s. Very, very excited for this video right here. Y'all know I'm in a target demographic for this channel. All right, I like cars, I like fashion, I like learning things, I like cool stuff, I like all the creative extravaganzas. I do know a lot about Sean Stüssy and the brand Stüssy, and his kind of, I'll say, molding of the streetwear space in the 90s. But there's got to be something that I don't know, so I'm gonna watch this video talking about it, and I'm very excited. This might be the last Speed video I react to, though. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like no one really, a lot of Speed fans, they're not also reaction fans, so yeah. We'll see. Anyway.
Before Supreme, before Bape, before even Tommy Hilfiger, there was Stüssy.
Talk about it. Bro's so goated, man.
It might sound bold, but there's a strong case to be made that Stüssy is every bit as influential as Ralph Lauren.
If not more, let's be honest here. If not more. Okay, I mean, it's a little early to tell. It's only been, what, 30 years? But, I mean, come on now, bro. Look at how everyone's on the streetwear vibe. You watch any Paris Fashion Week video from the live stream. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. For real.
Where streetwear was once rooted in subcultures, it's now firmly entrenched in the
yo, bro, I gotta stop. Okay, so this is why I can't not react to these videos, because I literally just said that because I be knowing, but then like they just, bro, the editing is so perfect and the timing and everything. Bro, I love these videos.
And the
I love these videos, man.
Sprouted such tremendous growth is Sean Stüssy. Sean and the brand have done more than set an example for others to follow. They've played an active role in propagating the feel.
Them short, when men used to dress like sluts, bro. Them shorts all the way up there. I love that. We gotta bring that back, guys.
They've played an active role in
this is how it should be when it's hot, man. It's too hot out here to be wearing shorts past your knees, man. Come on, it's not 2003. The weather was a little different back then. It's hard.
Propagating the field of streetwear as we know it today. And while it may not reach the same heights as Supreme or Palace or Amy Leon Dore, it's far from a legacy act. It consistently delivers hits on multiple fronts, maintaining its core DNA long after Sean himself left, while delivering inspired, fashion-forward pieces alongside the essentials of streetwear. But
so
here's the question, okay? How in the hell did a small surfboard shop from Laguna Beach end up laying the foundation?
Like I said, I already do know a lot about this story, so I'm probably not going to be saying a whole lot in this video compared to if I didn't, to be honest.
Streetwear
I just gotta say that now.
Global phenomenon. And here's an even better question.
Shoot.
Why and how has Stüssy even as
people? Oh, hey, that's tough. I think you have the og cap. Hey, that's hard. I need some of that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I need some og drip. I need Pierre Bourne to drop Sauce Boy, the tracksuits. Man,
after all these years,
come on, bro.
So influential in a space that's notorious for chasing the next big thing.
That was Gordo, right? I'm pretty sure that was Gordo.
One of, if not,
he had glasses on. I couldn't tell.
Favorite brand consistently throughout my life. It's a fascinating story, and I'm so excited to tell you about it. Welcome to Speed. This is everything you need to know about Stüssy.
Okay. Title card. Hey, man, this is so cool. All right, look, man. Oh, this is the same. Okay, same ingredients. I like that. That's great right there. Not a paid advertisement for Stüssy, but a portion of the video sponsored by Ridge, the wallets. Nice. I like that. Gotta keep your monies safe and compact.
Stüssy, whose name does not have an umlaut, began shaping surfboards at just 14 years old. What a little grom. He learned how to screen print even earlier than that, At 12, his parents owned a printing shop. He was a printing shop nepo baby. In 1979, Sean opened a
was a good year, man.
surf shop where he'd make and sell his own surfboards. Now, he had already been well known around the scene for his shaping while he was working at Russell Surfboards, which is still around today. You can go to it. It's in Newport Beach. Tell them Sean sent you. They'd probably love that. Roll up into Russell Surfboards and you're like, hey, is Sean here? And then they're like, who? Sean Stüssy. No, Sean hasn't worked here since 1978. What? What year is it? 2024. I overslept. And then you run out of there as fast as you can. Sean's boards were known for their quality, but also for their colorful
I've never been into surfing, you know. I'm from the other water-based state of the Oranges also, and they said we got rain and hurricanes. Yeah, never, you know, I'm not a water guy. I'm not. I don't care. So I never got into surfing, but I always have thought that surfboards can be really cool. Similar to skate, I didn't grow up skating either, but you know, I can appreciate some nice skateboards. I just think they're cool, man. I think they're cool.
Inspired by punk, reggae, and hip hop. Now you can tell that he's influenced by all of these things if you're familiar with any of the OG Stüssy designs.
Yes.
And I want to say right at the top, I'm fully aware of the fact that if in 2024 some white guy came out with a brand and was like, hey, I got this reggae cartoon on all my shirts, I don't think it would do as well. But
probably not. I mean, actually though, I think it would. It would just also get a lot of backlash. It would get a lot of backlash. Hey, aren't you supposed to be Jamaican? And bro, I love that moment so much, bro.
different time.
I can't believe the New Day is about to break up. Oh man, sorry. I feel like I brought up wrestling in the last Speed video too. I just can't stop
also
talking about it, man.
From his
I love this
uncle,
stuff.
The abstract painter Jan Frederick Stüssy. Here's one of his paintings here.
Ooh,
as well as
tough.
graffiti, the coolest way to write your name.
Yes.
Now, if Stüssy's hand-scrawled logo reminds you of a tag, it's because it essentially is. So, good job.
Way to clap it up for that. Way to clap it up.
Each of Sean's surfboards featured his famous signature, written in big fat marker years before it covered t-shirts all over the world.
Hey, my name is James, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Sean told the surf lifestyle site Empire Ave.
It's 78, 79, it's Sex Pistols in the Clash. It hits the
I was about to say, bro, what now? Off the shelf AI voice that we felt fit the vibe. James didn't want to do an impression of Sean because he didn't want to come off as too jokey or disrespectful. There's a real quote that Sean actually said in an interview with Empire Ave. We just had a robot say it out loud. Okay, because I was about to say, no way they just got footage of him, you know?
So, I'm a pug guy. I'm gonna start my own business. And the last thing I wanna do is make boards like what I thought were the old days. Even though they were guys I respected. I was like, F you old guys. Then I just wrote Stüssy and broke away at the end of 79 and made my first Stüssy board.
The Stüssy logo and Sean's wider aesthetic carried over to t-shirts, which were originally made to promote the surfboard business. Sean had no plans to sell them when he went to find buyers for his surfboards at the second ever Action Sports Retailer Trade Show. So he'd printed at least one black t-shirt with the Stüssy logo on it to wear as he was selling surfboards. And people were like, dude, what is that? And he was like, that's my name. And they were like, we love how you write it. It looks sick on a t-shirt. Can I buy one? And at first, he was like, no. I only have this many for me and my theoretical boys to wear. Can I interest you in a surfboard? It also has my name on it. And people were like, really not in the market for a surfboard. I mean, there's a lot of options here. This is the second ever Action Sports Retail Show. But so many people asked him for their shirts that after 3 days, he'd sold 24 surfboards, but had orders for 1,000 t-shirts.
Yo.
That's the
crazy.
Next show. 6 months later, Sean came prepared with 2 t-shirt designs to sell. Well, here's your shirt. I came prepared. Oh, I
Sick.
like that design as well. I'll take it. Great, 2 for 2. Can I interest you in a board now? No, but I would like to buy your shorts. You're weird. He's wearing a pair of cut-off chinos.
So he a fan, bro.
He
What?
bought from the Army Navy store, and people were like, "Oh, damn, dude, those are so much more punk than the Ocean Pacific shorts that are favored by most surfers at this time." Sean exhausted his supply after tracking down
Yikes.
300 to 400 more pairs in the next 6 months. To fulfill
Yo.
orders. So he turned to his aunt and was like, "Aunt, Stüssy's making cut and sew." And they put together
Okay, hold on. We gotta read.
in the next
gotta
6
learn.
months to fulfill orders. So
I know what this is, but I just want to read for y'all in case y'all don't. You know what I'm saying?
Stüssy's making cut and sew.
Cut and sew, a garment production method where fabric is cut and sewn together from scratch, allowing for custom designs and fits. Example: their clothing line uses cut and sew techniques for a tailored look. Amen. I'm trying to think of a good example that I know of. I feel like a lot of Yeezy stuff is cut and sew. You know,
And they put together Stüssy's first pattern for a pair of shorts.
like a lot of like the early like
So,
Yeezy
baby,
season 2.
I love this. This is quite literally the American dream. In 1984, Sean partnered with a registered accountant, Frank Sinatra Jr., and he invested $5,000 to help.
5,000 bones.
Not that one.
Scratch
Okay,
that.
so there's a Frank Sinatra who's a very famous singer. He has a son, very famous Frank Sinatra Jr., who's also a singer, less good than his dad.
Yikes.
This is a completely different Frank Sinatra Jr.
Okay.
Who had a dad, I assume, whose name is Frank Sinatra. And like his dad wasn't like, "Hey, I grew up with the same name as one of the most famous men on the planet. I'm gonna put that on my son too."
Yikes.
I gave this channel the same name,
GG's.
different spelling as one of the most.
Bro, I was about to say, when I first searched for Speed, because the first video I watched, I clicked the link in the bio. But when I first searched for Speed, they didn't come up at all. Like, not at all. It was literally just Speed. But now Speed comes up, which is cool.
Famous streamers on
If you type it in, right?
planet. So I can relate. He invested $5,000 to help launch a proper clothing brand. Stüssy's initial offerings included logo t-shirts and workwear inspired apparel, the latter
Sick.
of which we touched on a bit in our video about Carhartt. If you haven't
Yes.
watched it, go ahead and do it. And while you're at
Great
it,
video.
I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. It
not-
really contributes
I already
to
know he's
how
on,
I
too.
feel about myself. There is a one-to-one comparison with how many views and subs we get and myself. In a New York Times story from 1992, Sean himself explained the signature Stüssy look.
It's a ragamuffin thing, a utilitarian.
Oh, the show voice again. That's hard. We gotta talk about this is what we should be using AI for, bro. Not to create art, not to take people's jobs, but to get people's voices when you get interviews. Hey, bro.
Kind of look. The colors are muted, so
This is
they stay
funny.
clean. It's basically an attitude that reflects what's going on now. I don't know if it's harder or tougher, but it's less frou-frou. Everybody calls it surfwear or urban streetwear or surf street. They're all names. I don't name it, and I don't name it on purpose. I just make basic clothes that a 10-year-old can wear and my dad can wear.
That's so
And that
hard,
is a
bro.
great quote.
It is.
And it really does hit hard for me because like that's how I've always approached videos. I want to make something that a 10-year-old can watch and that my dad can watch. It's very cool that like a creator in that space that I really look up to like shares that sentiment and
Fire.
just makes me like the brand that much more because like you make stuff for other people. not for
Exactly.
yourself.
Pants and shirts and
There we
jackets
go.
and hats.
Honestly, the AI isn't that off. It's really like it's. Of course, you can tell it's AI, but like it kind of does sound like him a little bit.
Okay, so this is a big deal. So you know how like every single brand on the planet has their logo on a baseball hat? This is ASAP Rocky's brand. Here's an Iraq, New York, sci-fi fantasy, luxury brand. This
Yes, sir, the
guy,
Bottega.
I even have my name
This
on it.
guy.
Before Sean Stüssy, it was only baseball teams.
Yup.
No
Yo,
one
I saw somebody. They keep messing with the fitted. They made the fitted into a cowboy hat so hard, bro. Like so hard. I love stuff like that. Amazing. Genuinely amazing. And again, the Stüssy influence. I feel like that's Stüssy influence. That's oh my god, I can literally see his face right now. And I'm blanking on his name. Hold on, bro. I literally just opened Google so I could search for his name and found it. Dapper Dan. That's the Stüssy Dapper Dan influence. That is just so fire, and I love when stuff like that happens. Anyway, I had to bring that up.
Two and two together and was like, you know what we should do? We should put our logo on a hat. And that's exactly what he did. He was like, baseball hats are a thing that young men like to wear.
Eye panel.
What if I put the Stüssy logo on one? Dude, no one thought of that?
Crazy.
Across the board.
Actually crazy.
A lot of people credit Sean Stüssy for being the first designer to put his logo on a baseball hat. If he quit doing forever after that, and
literally,
that was all he did,
the influence would have been crazy.
A huge accomplishment.
Literally.
But as you'll find out in the rest of this video, he did a lot more than that.
A whole lot more.
So Sean puts his logo on a hat, and they took off like my dad on Christmas Eve.
Hey, right.
By the late 1980s, hat sales accounted for 20% of Stüssy's business.
Look at the drip, bro, the beanie. Oh, jeez, no.
Was good. $17 million in annual revenue in 1990. Sean established an identifiable design language from the jump, with the handwritten Stüssy font, of course, being omnipresent, which means always there, which is also the opposite of my dad. We're back, baby.
I was about to say, bro, you know we back when we get the dad jokes, bro.
Images, collage style, embodying punk DIY aesthetics. Look at some of these things.
They remind me of, okay, hold on, we're going too fast. Hold on, let me go back. Real quick. They remind me of like old Porsche ads, which I talked about in the last video about Porsche GT3 RS's.
Often mixed with images, collage
Bro, got this is like a West Side Gun album cover.
style, embodying punk DIY.
Which we need a video on West Side Gun, low key. We need a video on West Side Gun. That'd be tough. If I recommend anything to Speed, we need a video on West Side Gun. Literally. That would be tough because I feel like a lot of West Side Gun, a lot of the stuff that we've already talked about on this channel kind of go together. So, you know, why not? Maybe that's just me wanting to talk about wrestling again. I don't know. This is so tough, though.
Aesthetics. Look at some of these things.
Hold on. What's y'all favorite type of ice cream to get out of the ice cream truck, bro? I used to really rock with the SpongeBob ice cream, but I gotta go strawberry shortcake now. Those are amazing. I missed one. Whatever. I'm just rock out. Sick. Big and meaty. Pause.
Oh my god, bro. Oh hell no.
Settle down. Anyway. Oh, this is so tough. This is so tough right here.
Stüssy's iconic Surfer Man graphic also dates back to the 80s, as do various riffs on the letter S that are still used today. The brand's affinity for the 8-ball design began in those early days as well, and so did its spoofs on high fashion logos that inspired a number of other streetwear brands. This is like one of the coolest things to me that Stüssy's done. And was like the first.
Put a piece out. Put a piece out.
My favorite Stüssy logo.
Yeah.
Stüssy Chanel.
It's so hard.
Sean Stüssy had same letter initials, just like Coco Chanel. Get it? Get it? Stüssy referenced Chanel again by mimicking the logo.
Bro's gonna give us a pop quiz at the end of this video.
Chanel's famous number 5 perfume on Stüssy's number 4 t-shirt. It also took on years before Tyler the Creator, Pharrell, and Virgil with the Stewie Vuitton monogram that drew a lawsuit more than a decade before it sued Supreme for the same offense.
Which, we're gonna find out later in the video. That's so crazy.
Stüssy's first tour t-shirt, another long-lasting motif, dropped in 1989 while calling out London.
1989, that's a great year. That's the year No, I'm thinking 1987. 1987. Yeah, that was a great year, man.
That
was a great year.
Paris, Los Angeles, New York City, and Tokyo. This is on
Crazy.
a ton of Stüssy shirts, and I always assumed that it started because that's where Stüssy stores were.
That's what I would think.
Sean had been traveling the world, and it turns out that those were just cities that he visited and liked and had friends in. Now, traveling to those cities had a huge effect on him.
Oh, I
and
bet.
the friends that he made in those cities would go on to form the International Stüssy Tribe.
This is so tough, bro. Fujiwara, come on. This is tough. I don't think I've seen this graphic before. I'm trying to. First annual gathering of the A.
Now, whether taking direct
Hard.
roles in Stüssy's business or more informally holding up the brand as
Them
something
boys.
cool to follow, the tribe formed by Sean became Streetwear's super spreaders. This video is sponsored by Ridge Wallet, the #1 slim wallet.
Hey, I wanted to skip the ad, but he need 30 though.
I hate having
I can't
my
skip
wallet
it.
in my back pocket. It makes my butt hurt. Usually I will take my wallet out of my pocket and put it in the door. And I forget about it. And the door is not a good place for your wallet to be.
It's not.
If you're about to spend money.
No.
In a store.
Yeah. Yikes.
That's where today's sponsor comes in. Ridge Wallet.
So
are
fire.
designed for your front pockets.
Sick, bro. Hey, man, W ad, bro.
Now,
W ad, like I said, you know what I'm saying. We just here to learn, bro.
To get 10%
W ad,
off
though.
your purchase.
Let's do all the things. Go to the link
Sean
in his bio.
Stüssy is the senpai of streetwear. A New York City boutique called Union is where a lot of the guys who learned from senpais were found. A dude by the name of James Jebbia opened
Yes.
Union in 1989. By all accounts, this was a very hip store. So Jebbia wanted to stock Stüssy in his Union store, but at this point, Sean was very protective about the places he would allow to carry Stüssy, so he turned him down.
Yikes.
Eventually, through a friend, they hung out and they got to know each other. Sean started to really like James. Eventually, he let him carry Stüssy in his store, and when it came time for Stüssy to open his own New York City location in 1990, he tapped Jebbia to take charge. Word on the street is it was actually James Jebbia's idea to open a Stüssy store in New York. That same year, Stüssy went to Japan and threw the very first International Stüssy Tribe party. Now, the group had already started informally in the late 80s, but this party in Japan is where the moniker first showed up on Garms. That's the
Crazy.
version. I put a ring on it. Are we official?
No cap.
Do we have matching jackets with the name of our
No
team
cap,
on it?
no.
No? Okay. I'm gonna keep looking for a group of friends. Nah, dude, put it on Garm. At that party,
I'm stealing that.
Sean put it on Garm. Embroidering
Crazy. Put it on
International
Garm.
Stüssy Tribe on personalized
Hard.
varsity jackets, giving
And kind of the Gucci vibe with the green and red and the white. Low key, bro. That's a.
band of
I see what he was doing.
So cool. Ah.
I definitely see
These
what he was
guys were
doing.
the original tastemakers and influencers of streetwear, a group of real friends, an undeniable force for marketing, the Ronald Reagans of trickle-down driponomics. The London chapter included Michael Kopelman, founder of Gimme 5, a brand and streetwear distributor that is credited for bringing Stüssy and Bape to Europe. There was
Crazy.
also Alex Turnbull, a DJ, record label owner, and filmmaker. Cool resume, dog.
Very
Even
cool.
Mick Jones of The Clash and Big Audio Dynamite was
Sick.
a member. From New York, you had James Jebbia, who went on to found Supreme.
Yes,
Eddie
sir.
Cruz, who would become the founder of Undefeated. Paul
Crazy.
Middleton, early streetwear god, who would eventually take over as global creative director after Sean leaves. Spoiler alert, more on that later. This guy has the coolest LinkedIn I have ever seen in my life.
Yo.
And he's still going. You also had Dante Ross, the Tommy Boy Records exec, who signed De La Soul and Busta Rhymes, as well as Keith Haring, a very famous artist. In Italy, you had Luca Benini, the man behind Slam Jam, which is the retailer and distributor that played a large role in Stüssy European's growth. And in Tokyo, you had Hiroshi Fujiwara. Have you ever heard of him? Fujiwara was never directly involved in Stüssy's business, but was definitely influenced. Stüssy inspired him to start printing his own t-shirts under the label Good Enough, which would then give way to Fragment Design. In a 2015 interview, Paul said, "The Tribe happened before
1987
for the growth of the brand. It appeared as a form of mutual respect between like-minded people without any consideration or motive of commercial growth," which, of course,
them boys just hanging out. I was like, yo, let's do this.
You had to know someone to be in on the look. You couldn't just buy into it.
So hard.
The Tribe helped spread the gospel of Stüssy by word of mouth, and they would also feature heavily in Stüssy's campaigns. Now, these spreads opted for a lo-fi DIY aesthetic, matching that of Stüssy's now famous tees and its roots in punk. Now, while Jebbia was running Stüssy's NYC store, Eddie Cruz took over operations for Union. Then, in 1992, Union and Stüssy decided to open a joint Los Angeles store known as the Stüssy Union, setting Eddie to the West Coast to manage it. Now, eventually, the two parties grew into their own individual spaces, but they still, to this day, sit directly next to each other in the same spot on La Brea Avenue.
That's so
I have
hard.
Union shoes. You want to see them? So I got these Union shoes, these three ones, and then I got Union lows.
I don't really like, I'm not the biggest fan of lows that often, but I can appreciate some nice lows. Those are nice lows. I feel like you can pull those off with a lot of different fits. And that's one thing for me. Like, if you're gonna go low, they gotta be versatile. You feel me? That's
big into resale. I keep them crispy. I'm not really into sneakers, but Union J4s are the only sneakers that I want.
I'm a big sneakerhead. It's funny, I really only got into like Stüssy and Preem and all this stuff because I was a sneakerhead, low key, and I haven't really indulged. I just got some Ambush Converse, like the thick boots. I forgot like what the actual name is, but I got some of those pretty recently. You know what I'm saying? I got some J's, but like I haven't really like started. Once I really start the collection, bro, it's finna be tough.
$700.
It's gonna be tough.
In 1994, James Jebbia started his own brand and opened his own store just a 4-minute walk away from Stüssy, New York.
Yes,
now,
sir.
You may have heard of it. It's called Supreme.
I'm not wearing Supreme right now, surprisingly.
I have never heard of it.
But
JK, dude. I'm born and raised in LA with a Fairfax High.
I was about to say, bro, if you look at my Instagram right now, actually, I think I archived all the posts. But yeah, I archived like pretty much everything. But if we check my archive right now, let me see. Let me see, bro. Let me go back. And this is like peak 2, I think, for excuse me, for like the time. You feel me? This is low key just all I was about, bro. And I had this crazy for some reason, bro, I just really liked like the feed. So I had a bunch of white pictures and a bunch of stuff in between, bro. We got the hype beast Bart. You feel me? We got SpongeBob with the Red Octobers and the 750s. We got an NSX. Like, this was just all I cared about was like cars and clothes and like just be hype. I just posted human races. Like, you know what I mean? That's just what I was on. Middle school. Like, crazy.
Dude, Lucas is my brother. James told legendary
actually crazy
Glenn O'Brien for Interview Magazine in 2000.
And yes, that was at a time when Supreme was like starting to go mainstream. And clearly from the hype beast Bart, you could tell like just the era. that was when, like, you know, everyone was like, ah, Supreme's lost its way now because all the like famous people were wearing it and like not just skaters and stuff and all that. And Tyler stopped kind of wearing it, and he was one of the people that like brought it into the mainstream again for like younger people that just weren't around in the 90s. So, you know, I mean, of course he wears it now, but at that time he was kind of like shifting into just wearing golf only. So, you know, I kind of had to hold it down on not really the front lines, but like on the lines, I was kind of in the trenches of being like, no, this is actually cool. Don't worry about it. It's actually cool. I feel like now it doesn't really have the, you know, the vibe it used to. But I think at that point it was still cool. It's just a lot of people was dressing like Rice Gum and like Hypebeast Bart. You know what I mean? Because it was just kind of throwing brands together. Like, look at what I got on. Look at how expensive my fit is, instead of really trying to like style it. You know, I imagine people were styling Supreme.
9.
I had the Stüssy store right here in Prince Street, but Sean didn't know whether he was gonna do it for that long. He'd made a ton of money, and then I think he decided to retire, so I thought, I'd better be doing something else too, because I don't want to count on this.
That's sick, dude.
Very sick.
Dude was like, oh, well, better do something. Guess I'll make $1 billion brand. Now, there's some conflicting reports under what terms Sean did eventually leave Stüssy in 1996. Some say he left on good terms, to spend more time with his family. Others say he wasn't exactly stoked to leave among tension between the creative and business side of the business. What is that like? I have no idea. Can you
Oh man, imagine what that would be like. That sounds like a crazy scenario I've never been in before.
imagine you spend a big chunk of your life like building a really strong brand, and then some business guys come in and then you're like, hold on, this is getting kind of weird and like not fun and not cool. I think you guys are kind of missing the point of like what this is supposed to be. I've never experienced anything remotely similar to this, so I wouldn't know. Surfing and skateboarding exploded in the 90s. And
crazy. He on X Games mode.
A ton of people wanted to dress like surfers and skateboarders. That's how nature works. This brought the culture to the forefront, and also a bunch of competition for Stüssy with brands like Billabong, Quicksilver, Rip Curl, and especially Massimo. You guys remember Massimo?
I do not, but that's crazy.
Back then, and I didn't have money. My parents got to decide what I bought, and if I wanted to dress like a surfer, my mom didn't know the difference between Stüssy and Massimo. They looked the same. And if Massimo was easier for her to purchase,
no cap though,
and I still look like a little poser ass surfer, job's done.
I was about to say, that sounds good enough to me.
Royal. She doesn't care about like, well, actually, this dude's legit. He's very careful about what retailers he lets carry his stuff. Wow, thanks, Mom. So Massimo was fairly obvious in its intent to steal Stüssy's thunder. Even their logo was extremely similar. And Massimo chased growth in a way that Stüssy had never done, essentially squeezing Stüssy out of the time, but ultimately starting down a path to its own doom further down the line. They prioritized immediate gains, trying to sell as many shirts and hats and pants as they could, as fast as they could. Now, Stüssy decided not to play into this game and opted to weather the storm with a different approach. Seeing that the brand was losing steam in America, Frank Sinatra Jr. shifted its focus to the international market.
As you should, bro.
Japan kept Stüssy alive during a long.
That's the wave. And honestly, bro, Americans are not best dressed at all, bro. Literally, me personally, goated into, especially when it comes to Stüssy, bro. Yo, no one really has that drip like Goldie, bro. Anyway. What was I about to say? Oh, when it comes to best dress, I feel like if we're talking best dress in the world, we're talking cities. I gotta go Japan number 1, Paris number 2, then New York number 3. That's top 3. But like in an overall sense, I feel like people are just way better in Europe, and I think it's just like a climate thing. Like you can dress better in Europe. In America, it's like way too much variation. It's way too hot in this region. You know, that's kind of just how it is.
being basically forgotten in the US from the mid-90s to the 2000s. Japan, in particular, maintained
Look at the
its
puppy.
appetite for Stüssy. In 2000, Nike began collaborating with Stüssy in London. The first shoe they did was an Air Huarache, sold exclusively at Stüssy London. A year
Not my
later,
favorite colorway,
they
but
dropped
that's
an
cool.
exclusive
I like that.
Dunk High. And when I say exclusive, I mean exclusive AF. They only released 12 pairs a day. All right, sparking huge lines outside of stores. Subsequent releases included Blazer Mids in 2002.
Okay.
And the first co-branded Nike sneaker, the Friends and Family exclusive Air Huarache Light.
They cool, they
2003.
cool.
In 2005, Nike and Stüssy launched the Court Force with matching co-branded tees and the SB Dunk Cherry, part of the Team Manager series, now reselling for over $3,000.
Seen those. When Dunks came back, when the Pandas came out, and everyone was like, all right, we like Dunks now, and the Chunky Dunkies, and all the, you know what I'm saying? Those are ones that I saw. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
In with the emergent sneaker culture, Stüssy regained ground in America. Streetwear is the natural counterpart to the sneakers in a complete outfit. Stüssy got on the minds of sneakerheads through its Nike collabs, which in turn brought them back to buy Stüssy garms
So tough.
to wear with their Stüssy kicks.
Crazy.
Just have the kicks
Crazy.
without the garms.
Bro really paved the way,
Even
bro.
so,
What would Yeezy be without Stüssy, bro? Let's be honest. Let's be honest, bro. He paved the way.
its revenue still tipped more toward the international market than in
I feel like at the same time, though, they kind of paved different lanes, but like similar. They paved different lanes on the same highway. That's what, ooh, that's hard. They paved different lanes on the same highway. That's tough right there. I really could be a rapper. I just don't want to, so I don't do it. But like I could, though. That would be a crazy bar, bro.
America with a 60-40 split of its $50 million revenue in 2014. Still, there was one last push needed to put Stüssy at its current remastered
Let's talk about it.
of cool.
Let's talk about it.
What changed? We started truthfully designing better. The iteration of Stüssy that we see now is by far its most fashionable. It's still built on the original principles established by Sean, and we even see reissues of his original design. Stüssy's evolution into more of a label with a streetwear core has been widely praised. The Stüssy of today
As it
has
should.
been spearheaded by Fraser Avey, who took on the role of global brand director in 2015.
Sick.
He cited 3 key members of what he'd call the brand's new tribe. Men's design director Israel Gonzalez, his women's wear counterpart Jane Goheen,
Okay.
super consultant Tremaine Emery, founder of Denim Tears and former creative director of Supreme.
Yes,
The range
sir.
of stores where Stüssy was sold was also refined. It walked away from larger retailers such as Zoomies and PacSun while entertaining more cultivated spaces such as Dover Street Market and Mr. Porter.
Hey, them boys getting serious.
With pieces
Them
that
boys getting
include
serious.
baggy leather shorts, skinny
So
ties
tough, bro.
with Sean's lettering and jacquard.
Honestly, bro, these hit harder than Rick, in my
Mr.
opinion.
Porter.
These shorts?
Stüssy has pushed boundaries.
They hit harder than
with
Rick.
Pieces that include baggy leather
I really like these. These are crazy. These are very tough. Cardi probably had these on recently. I feel like I seen these recently.
shorts, skinny
So
ties
tough, though.
with Sean's lettering and jacquard, an almost disorienting wobbly check shirt and trousers.
I would love to wear these pants with that Mason Margiela belt jacket that Thug had on. Free Thug, by the way. It was Margiela, right? Yeah, it was. Okay, I know my stuff, bro. I just had to make sure. But yeah, this is like the most iconic picture of this. This is how I style this. Just to throw people off. Not even because it looked that crazy, but like I'll wear this belt jacket with these, you know what I'm saying? Because like, why not? You know, I feel like that would be tough. Low key. That's just how I get down.
Tie-dyed fisherman sweaters.
Hard.
Simply put, the shapes rock, the motifs bang, and the taste is unimpeachable.
Literally.
They still offer streetwear staples such as t-shirts, hoodies, hats, pants, and of course, yes, they all still slap. It's just
No cap though.
fun.
Which is pretty rare that I feel like we find a lot of brands, once like the originator, original creative director, once they leave, they kind of lose the essence of what they had. Like Bape, once Nigo stepped away from Bape after the whole lawsuit situation and all that, Bape kind of stopped hitting, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I've seen a couple of pieces, a couple of collabs that were like, okay, these are cool and all that, but a lot of the best pieces are like archived from like when Nigo's around. And there's countless brands where that happened, where the originator just, you know, stepped away, or in some cases was kicked out, or whatever the case may be, for good reason. You know, people like ASAP Bari, you know, that thug. He deserved to be, you know what I mean, kind of pushed away from V-Loan. But at the same time, we can give him his flowers in the sense that he was a great designer for that time and for V-Loan. And a lot of their pieces don't hit now. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Whereas with Stüssy, like, they still be putting out bangers, bro.
And fun.
It's crazy.
Stüssy. It says, hey, I know you're here for a t-shirt, but have you considered a blazer? And that's why I love it.
Hard.
Big man Sean Stüssy
Yeezys.
retreated to raise his family, build houses, and surf. In 2010, after his 3 boys had grown all up, he launched a new venture called S-Double. Once again, it began with him making surfboards by hand. And once again, he was eventually convinced to sell clothing. Now, at first, S-Double clothes were only sold in Japan because they're that cool. But
Nice. That's how you know something's cool.
the brand took off fairly quickly, but shuttered quietly in 2016. Sean has also maintained a presence on Instagram, where he's shown his current activities as well as old photos, drawings, and graphics. It's also been a place where he's shared his feelings too, about streetwear broadly and Stüssy specifically. His most particular gripe is the re-release of his original designs. In a comment in response to a hat, Sean said, "Herein lies the problem. The always lame re-release.
Yikes.
My designs were meant for the moment of which they were created. And to have a vintage piece that still speaks to you is what it's all about. Not making more new ones for the
I agree, though.
What you
I agree. There's certain cases where a re-release of old designs can be cool. I'm not going to speak on it because I know what video I'm watching, and it's only a matter of time before we get a sneak diss. That's not really a sneak. But if you know who people think abandoned a certain brand of a certain letters that's named after a certain month, a possible originator of said possible brand may or may not have just been photographed in a re-release version of the original designs for said brand that I personally love because I wanted that so bad as a kid and couldn't afford it. And I still can't, but I'm gonna check in a couple days and see if maybe the price is a little low. I might be able to get something I wanted since I was 8 years old, which is pretty tough. I'm not gonna mention who though. Well, but I feel like that's the only case where like a re-release is kind of cool to like stand on business. If you're standing on business and with a re-release, that's valid. But a lot of companies are not just standing on business, like they're not just re-releasing stuff to stand on business. That's not it. They're trying to get that money on, which is like, I guess, bro, it's capitalism, but like it takes away again the soul, bro. A lot of these brands are started with soul. It's about soul. Once the suits get involved, bro, it loses that. And that applies to things beyond just clothing, but like, you know what I mean, bro.
On Sean's Instagram, though, is the announcement that S-Double is returning. Instead, dude went back to his roots.
Sick.
Full analog to announce that big news with a mural featuring his handwritten manifesto painted on the Australian headquarters of Globe, which is partnering with him for the relaunch.
Sick.
Know your history, which you should, at least a little more if you stuck through this video this long.
Yes.
You should be excited about Sean's return to clothing.
Very exciting.
Based on the order interview.
That's like if what's his name, bro? Chrome Heart. I can't think of his first name, but Mr. Stark. Literally, his name's. I know right now his, I believe, wife and daughters. Well, kids really, he has 2 daughters and a son. I'm pretty sure they're all, you know, who's been working on Chrome for a while. But like, imagine he was like, you know what? I got one more in me. Came back to Chrome Hearts and dropped like a crazy little capsule. That would be tough. I don't think he's gonna do that though. I think he's having fun, living life, and kind of stopped working on clothes a long time ago. But I mean, it's like a similar, you know what I mean? That would be tough.
S-Double's first stint, there should be little reason to doubt his intentions, let alone his abilities. I, for one, am
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
I ain't gonna lie. Come back.
It's gonna be hard.
And I'm gonna leave you guys with this quote from the man himself. The whole idea of a brand is skewed to me right now. You don't start with a brand, you start with a project. And if you do your project with passion and tenacity, the prize is the brand. The destination,
I'm gonna drop a bomb.
it's worth something in the end.
Gotta drop a bomb on that, bro. That's hard. Is this a tease for Speed merch? Because if it is, I need a flannel, like kind of on like some Ben Trill, like the Ben Trill. No, forget the flannel. I need like on some Ben Trill, like Travis Scott collab when Alpha was coming out. I need the camo crew neck long sleeve with the Speed logo on it, but instead of camo, maybe you could do like I don't know, because I don't really know what else. I mean, Speed, maybe you could do like rays of light on the, you feel me? You see the vision. The Speed, light is fast.
Sticking
you know?
with us, it feels good. Super scary, super stressful, but also like really f***ing cool. And I'm so glad that we're doing this. I know it's kind of long between videos, but thank you guys for bearing with us.
Who cares, man? These videos are so good. You can take a month off, man. Literally, work on a video for a month. That video's gonna be a banger. Like, you know what I'm saying? And low key, he's saying that they dropped what, 4 videos already in 2 months. That's crazy, in my opinion, for this channel. Like, and how crazy these videos are. Like the editing, the level of detail. Like, this is insane.
So glad that we're doing this. I know it's kind of long between videos, but thank you guys for bearing with us. It's getting shorter and shorter as we figure stuff out. We are not taking on any money, 100% independently produced.
Fire.
And with that comes, it just takes a little longer to make shit. So we're going to do a lot more of these deep dives into
this channel, man.
Let us know what you want us to do in the comments below. Follow me on
Instagram, else did I say?
At James Pumphrey, or on TikTok, Kentucky Cobra. Those are the places that I can talk to you every day. We're gearing up. All right, dudes.
What's another up to speed we need, bro? We need like a up to speed on maybe Glock. Are you into guns? I don't know if they're into guns, but an up to speed on Glock would be fire, bro. Because I'm turning 21 this year. I get the, hey, bro, a lot of people, they turn 21, they want to go to the bar, they want to get themselves a beer and stuff. I respect that. Me, I'm gonna turn 21, hit the stove, bro. I'm trying to get that fire. You feel me? So an up to speed on Glock or something would be cool. That'd be nice. You know, doing a lot of research on those. Or maybe I don't know, dude. Like a up to speed on. I'm trying to think of like a fashion house or like a brand or something that I don't already know a lot about. Cause there's a bunch that like I already know a lot about. So I'm like, what do I not really know about that I want to know about? I've already seen stuff on Bottega. Low key up to speed on Ambush. That would be fire, because I feel like I haven't really seen too much about them, and I've always liked leather pieces, which is why I got those shoes. Because like, yeah, they're hard to me, but like they're also like I rock with Ambush. So that would be tough. Yeah, that'd be speed on ambush. That'd be cool. Anyways, great video. I like this right here, man. Can't wait to see what else we got from this channel. Like I said, I probably won't react to any more of these because these videos have not been to like y'all are not rocking with the reaction, which is fair. I respect that. I really respect that. But yeah, I'm probably just watch these while I eat now because I like watching stuff like this while I eat. It's very entertaining.